My parents were living about 3 hours away from me by car. They were both aging a bit and slowing down. And my dad was losing some of his cognitive ability over time. They were getting along okay. My mom being the main caretaker of the group. But then she was diagnosed with cancer and was in and out of the hospital. And during those times, I made the 3 hour trek up to their house and stay with my dad while she was in the hospital and getting some treatments and come back out of the hospital. But then over time, that cancer diagnosis was starting to take a toll on her. And so we talked and they both agreed it was time to move closer to me into some place where they could get the senior care they needed. So not knowing what to do, I started calling some of the senior care centers I knew in the area. I didn't know much about it. One of the first ones I called said, well, if you're trying to do this for your parents, you might want to call Lynn Paxson with Oasis Senior Advisors because she does this for folks and helps them locate places. So I took that advice and I phoned Lynn and she was very quick to respond. She responded the same day and asked me about my situation, had some really good questions about the status of both my dad and my mother, and very quickly said she would get back to me in a day with some opportunity areas to go look at. Now, in my case, both my mother and my father had to be a little different places. My dad needed more of assisted living. My mother needed more care for her situation. She quickly set up some interviews and some visits to those centers. She helped ask some good questions, help relate our situation to the places. And at the end of those tours, which were done within a week, we were able to make good choices and place both my parents in an appropriate location for their needs. Working with Lynn was great. Took a lot of pressure off of me to find a location quickly that would meet their needs, and she was really knowledgeable and helpful in getting them placed. And unfortunately, my mom did pass away recently, but my dad is still happy and working well in the assisted living facility that we placed him in. Overall, my experience with Oasis was fantastic. They took a lot of the stress away from finding a location and were very helpful in showing me the opportunities that were in my area that would fit my parents' needs. And in the end, made a very good decision of where to place them for their senior living.